I'm Spencer and welcome to Underwater Updates. I wanted to give an update on my 15-gallon column aquarium, and as you can tell, it looks a lot different than the last 15-gallon update video. If you've looked at some of my other videos about the different plants and fish inside of the aquarium, you probably have noticed that it doesn't quite look the same as the 15-gallon update video from back in October. So let me just tell you about what I've done differently. So the first thing that you can see that I've done different is I've added live plants. I've got Moneywort that's been growing. It's got some like film on it right now. Kind of looks kind of weird, but it's been growing really well actually. This one Ludwiga plant back here was the first one that I got, and from it it's already propagated a whole bunch. This one's come off of it. I've clipped it off and it's already started to grow like crazy. Actually clipped right there where the two are spawning off. I clipped there and I put it in another tank, and that one's starting to go like crazy as well. So the Ludwiga in here is growing really quick, and I love the way those leaves look when they turn that nice deep red. These ones actually are still combating some brown algae that got on them, but you can kind of see some of the red leaves down there underneath the algae. So this huge rock that I put in here actually ended up getting covered in brown algae, so it's still got some in certain places, but it's making a pretty good recovery. I took it out, scrubbed it with a toothbrush really well, and then put it back in here, and it was like night and day. So I've got a couple Elodea plants down here. I added a couple more neon tetras, as you can see in the back. There's some over there and some over here. I think there's 13 in here total. So you can see that the Elodea has started to grow and is actually kind of taking roots down there into the substrate. And over here is actually some cuttlebone. Now that's for birds to chew on, but it's an excellent natural source of calcium for the snails in here, and also just kind of in the water column. I added some more neon tetras. There's 13 now in there total, and they're just my favorite nanofish, so I like to watch them swim around on either side of the tank. In the back there is a submersible, or I guess submersible internal, whatever you want to call it, filter, so that kind of gives it a little bit of flow that you can see right there on the moss. It's got nice flow, and it just kind of throws that flow around to make sure that all these plants, kind of see the swaying back there, just to make sure, hopefully stop stuff like what it's got on there from getting stuck. You can kind of see all that like biofilm stuff that kind of looks like stringy cobwebs almost. The current will help make sure that stuff gets either blown away or at least stop more stuff from getting caught. There's the jungle valve in the back right behind those black skirt tetras. I can't tell if it's starting to propagate back there or if it just had some smaller leaves coming up, but either way I'm excited that it's growing. You can see the beta, that was actually my roommate's beta, but now he's in this tank and he loves it. He's got a really cool personality. He takes up the whole tank, which is, see, he's like, he's gonna go down and hide at the bottom. He takes up the whole tank, which I've never had a beta leave like the very top by the filter. And speaking of the top, I've got an open top now, which I like a lot. I've got a night crew light up top with the LEDs with a couple blue, couple white. And I've got my Amazon frog bed up here. I've been really struggling with this plant. It's thrived for a while, and then I think the amount of plants in the aquarium just kind of sucked all the nutrients out, and the first ones to really kind of suffer from that were definitely the floating plants, since they get all of their nutrients from the water column and weren't able to use the substrate to extract any. And you can see some of the leaves are still kind of browning and rotting, but I've been dosing with fertilizer, making sure to kind of put some extra food in there just to produce some ammonia and nitrates for the plants to eat. Obviously not enough to get an ammonia spike, especially since I did just add a couple more tetras, so there's added ammonia in that way. But yeah, so I'll just kind of keep you guys posted on how these go, and hopefully I don't lose them, because I really like the lily pads up here. I think they give it a really cool natural look, especially since it's got an open top, and the lily pads are pretty much the only reason why I wanted the open top anyway. I just really like the way the lily pads look from underneath. They just provide a nice little spot for your fish to hide under. It's a nice natural look, and it's kind of fun just to watch them float up there. So I really hope those don't die. Down underneath, the moss has really started to flourish. You used to be able to see the super glue. It's Java moss on here, so I had to super glue it on to the rock. And you used to be able to actually see the super glue, but now it's pretty much all covered. It was actually kind of a blessing in disguise having that brown algae, because it covered up the white of the super glue. And then if you go down here, you can see the African dwarf frog. He's just kind of hanging out, looking around for food. He's always fun to watch. He sings. I'll post a video of that. He sings every once in a while, and it just kind of sounds like a little kind of clicking coming from your fish tank. I'll post a card or whatever, little button, to a video of him singing, so that way you guys know what I'm talking about. So a lot has changed since my October update on this 15-gallon column aquarium. We've got live plants, new rocks, some added livestock, and some added supplements just to kind of enrich the water quality. The tank has been super clear. Hopefully it stays this way. The plants have been doing their job almost too well, actually, sucking all the nutrients out of there. But yeah, to follow the changes that happened to this aquarium, go ahead and subscribe to Underwater Updates. Like this video if you liked it. Comment if you have any questions about anything that I didn't answer. And just remember to always stay updated. Thank you.